connectivity.
One. Two.
Free Wi-Fi hotspots, which are going to be launched on Independence Day. And this is going to see us come up with 400 Wi-Fi hotspots initially and progress to 1,000 before the end of the year. This initiative is meant to provide for connectivity for our young people, to be able to innovate, to come up with a lot of prototypes that are going to add to national development. With AI around, I believe we can come up with it. But when we as government are going to provide for connectivity, which is actually accessible and affordable, this is also the right step in the right direction. Allow me to also say that as government, we've got the cyber security training program, which has trained more than 3,000 young people on cyber security. And we're hoping to have more young people, because this is also, again, another self-taught tutorial that you need to engage in. Thirdly, we have the Digital Skills Ambassadors Program, where we are equipping our young people. We've got an initial target of 1,000 young people who are going to be ambassadors in training on digital skills and many other advanced digital skills literacy programs. The target that we have as a country is to achieve a 100% digital literacy rate by 2030. This can only be done if we've got these various initiatives, which are meant to make sure that we capacitate our young people, we capacitate our workforce, we also capacitate even the public servants. So it's a matter of us reskilling, skilling, and at the same time, making sure that we upskill them. This is the way to go, and we believe this is an ambitious program that we're embarking on as a country so that we achieve a 100% digital literacy by 2030. These efforts focus on building a digitally literate workforce to boost local innovation and productivity while prioritizing online safety. The Zimbabwe Child Online Protection Policy, which is awaiting approval, in conjunction with legislation we are mooting, aim to restrict social media access for certain age groups to protect minors from exploitation and cyberbullying. I know this was a conversation which a lot were saying, Honorable, do you think that is feasible? As a country, if we are willing to make sure that we protect our young people on the digital landscape, we'll be able to achieve that. It takes a parent to be able to monitor what their children are doing online. It also takes a teacher to be able to look at ways that they can, for them to make sure that when we provide for free Wi-Fi at different schools, we also have to make sure that our children access the best. Yes, we have tried to make sure that we've got gateways that we've put in place within our free Wi-Fi hotspots within schools. But at the end of the day, we always find a way. These young people are so intelligent that sometimes they bypass some of the systems. So I am really saying this can only be done if we work together and we are very deliberate to say we want to protect our future. And protecting our future means that we need to come up with the legislation. Our president, His Excellency Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, has already assigned us to make sure that we come up with proper legislation and policies that are going to protect our children online. So this has to be done, and we're also calling upon you, the locals and the whole sector, to say to ourselves, how do we progress in terms of making sure that we implement this? As Zimbabwe, we believe that this is the way to go. We need to protect our children online, and we need to come with the requisite legislation to work on that. Our vision is to create a Zimbabwe where telecommunications foster enterprise growth, digital services enhance inclusivity, and technology improves productivity. We are also improving the postal and courier sector to support e-commerce and position Zimbabwe as a regional hub for digital innovation. We are also happy as Zimbabwe that we, last week when I was in Uganda, one of our own, Dr. Chief Fundo Moyo, was elected to be, second term now, the Secretary General for the Pan-African Postal Union. That is a great stride for us as Zimbabwe. To him. In the postal and courier services sector, I'm happy that the ZimPost, which is one of the players in the postal sector, they've already started initiating. They already have an app, they even have a chatbot that they have. And I believe they need to do more in terms of making sure that we achieve a smart post office as Zimbabwe. I've already tasked them. I'm glad the PMG is here. This is the way to go. We can't continue always be talking and not implementing. We need to get to a stage whenever we agree that this is the route that we need to take. Let us make sure that we are result-oriented. We need to have a smart post office. We need Zimbabwe to be very deliberate to say which route should we take in line with our president's vision. The vision that our president has is for us to start saying to ourselves, we need to see the post transforming, and we need to see the post digitalizing their operations. It's not a secret. The email is one, where now we are even using the email to start communicating. But how then can we make sure that the post infuses their operation in line with also adopting the use of emails? So I really look forward to a lot of initiatives this year around the postal and courier services. Let's be innovative. Let's, if ever we have got a box, it's better for us to even remove the box rather than for us to say, let's think outside the box. Because if you're thinking outside, when you get inside, that means you're not going to think it's still the same way. So it's better for us to just remove the box and know it doesn't exist and make sure that we are more pragmatic than ever as a nation. None of these ambitions can be realized without a robust, predictable, and forward-looking policy and regulatory environment. As the government, we recognize fundamental investment principles, where investment follows certainty, innovation follows flexibility, growth follows alignment between policy and capital. We are therefore committed to strengthening regulatory clarity, consistency, and predictability, ensuring transparent and efficient spectrum management, promoting infrastructure sharing and cost-efficient models, enabling public-private partnerships to make sure that we have got a lot of large-scale infrastructure development. And lastly, we also need to support adaptive, innovation-friendly regulatory frameworks. In this regard, the Postal and Telecommunications Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe, POTRAS, under its newly appointed board, will continue to play a central role in steering the sector towards efficiency, competitiveness, and inclusive growth. Allow me to speak directly to investors and strategic partners present here today. Zimbabwe is open for business, and Zimbabwe is open for the digital economy. We need to have more partnerships. We need to continuously be able to get ways that we can for us to develop the ICT sector. We need to work towards national and metropolitan fiber backbone infrastructure, data center and cloud infrastructure, next generation mobile networks, including 4G expansion and 5G readiness, rural connectivity and universal access solutions, artificial intelligence platforms, and digital innovation ecosystems. We recognize the importance of long-term patient capital in building resilient infrastructure, and we are committed to collaborating with partners at all levels to unlock these opportunities. This transformation requires a whole of ecosystem approach, not just a whole of government approach. We want to look at us innovating boldly, especially to the industry leaders, strategically, and evolve beyond traditional models. To investors, we want to engage with confidence, partner for scale, and build business times, organizing this fight. Well done. This is now the second year running. Is that so? Third year. It's the third year running. And I've consistently attended all the three conferences. It really shows that as government, we are in full support of initiatives that private players are bringing on board. And we believe that we are not able to do that alone as government. We need to collaborate. So if you see me doing anything wrong, you are the problem. Because I believe we've given you an opportunity, an open door approach, where we want you to collaborate for us to enhance this digital landscape. I've been very, very deliberate and very clear from day one. And I think I've been consistent, haven't I? Where we say, whatever you think, if you think we can bring the clouds down, come and tell us how we are going to do it, and we'll support. As Zimbabwe, this is an opportunity for us to become a hub of AI adoption as a country. We are strategically positioned to be able to achieve that. In terms of cybersecurity, in terms of AI adoption, as Zimbabwe, we believe that we are capable of doing that. We can become an AI hub for AI adoption. But what it takes is for us to work together to collaborate for the best. So BTT Times, we really want to thank you for your commitment and all the stakeholders who are here gathered today. This conference should foster dialogue and lead to meaningful partnerships and investments that will shape Zimbabwe's digital economy. And to our ICT startups and our young people, our innovators, this is also an opportunity for you to learn and find out which gaps exist and come up with prototypes that are relevant towards national development. As government this year, we are very, very deliberate that we have got a budget for our ICT startups through Potras. Potras has got the Presidential Innovation Fund, and we believe that there is quite a lot of work that we can do. I always have conversations with Dr. Machengeti. A lot of times when I find breathtaking innovations that our young people have. But I've realized that when you look at these young people, all they want is our support. So I call upon the private players to say, when we get young people having innovations, let's support them. We have got a lot of institutions that have got ICT hubs. I see Stambic's also here. We've got ZB. We have got Old Mutual. All these hubs also need to contribute towards national development. How? By making sure that when our young people have the various initiatives or prototypes that they come up with, support them. We want this to come to life. Not for us to always have all these innovations, all these ideas, just being there and nothing else that they have to contribute. So I believe this is an opportunity for us as Zimbabwe. Our government is very much willing, and even our president, Tim Nangagwa, has been very clear on making sure that he promotes innovation to the highest level. So all we need to do is to work and make sure that 2026 will become a year that is going to bring forth a lot of innovations and make sure that we reshape the digital landscape of this country. I really want to thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause to Honorable Mavetsera. Thank you so much, Honorable. I would like to unapologetically say I was the person behind the camera who took the people that were here first. I'm sorry. I took that picture and said to Honorable, yes, I was there. I was one of the people here that were early. Anyway, thank you very much. The keynote was proudly brought to you by AFNet. Thank you so much for coming through and powering and partnering with the Business Times. Like we said, like the Honorable alluded to, it's beyond connectivity. It's telecoms, it's AI, it's everything technology involved. Honorable, I just want to thank you for the overlapping portfolio that you have that is not only ICT, but also in the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education. We've seen your ministry tapping into it and, of course, distributing computer, taking technology where it's supposed to be, and to catch them young. Thank you for doing that. So before we go for lunch, I just want to let you know that after lunch we have a panel of discussion that is going to talk about telecoms and, of course, enterprise digital economics, and it's going to be moderated by Farai again. So I would want you to prepare your questions, prepare to be open to talking about what we're going to be talking about today. It's of utmost importance that you are involved as well. And before that, before we break for lunch, the ITU Telecommunication Development Bureau Director, Dr. Cosmas Savasava, couldn't be with us today, but he managed to send us a video. And that video is obviously going to be important that we take a look at it.
Government officials here present, distinguished guests, leaders from industry, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you to the organizers for inviting me to participate in this critical dialogue. Unfortunately, I could not be there with you on this occasion. You have gathered under a theme that is both timely and transformative, beyond connectivity, telecommunications, AI, and Zimbabwe's future. For the past 2 decades, the mantra of global telecommunications was simply to connect the unconnected. And simply put, to build the towers, lay the fiber, and bridge the digital divide. And indeed, Zimbabwe has made commendable strides on this front. Mobile penetration is robust, and data costs have been going down, bringing more citizens online than ever before. But today, we are not here to celebrate what has been built. We are here to discuss what we must become. For that reason, let us go beyond connectivity, where infrastructure is no longer the destination but the starting line. Today, we are going through an artificial intelligence revolution. Zimbabwe should no longer be asking how fast one's internet is. The question should be, what can your data do? We all agree that data is the fuel or foundation of AI, and the local data is intrinsically linked to the concept of data sovereignty. Keeping data local builds trust. I must caution that if we are not careful, data generated in Zimbabwe or elsewhere in Africa will be processed in servers thousands of miles away, generating insights and wealth that flow out of the continent, never to return. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact is we are moving from the Internet of Things to the intelligence of things. For AI to thrive, it requires 3 things: data, compute, and algorithms. These 3 pillars are deeply interconnected. You cannot benefit from a new data center infrastructure without the talent to utilize it. You cannot build useful local models, talent, without access to high-quality local data. And you cannot convince a hospital to share its data without a secure, locally governed infrastructure to process it on. Ultimately, successful AI for development hinges on a holistic strategy. It requires moving beyond isolated pilot projects to build complete, trustworthy ecosystems that empower local policies, that encourage investment, not just in basic broadband, but in the high-capacity, low-latency networks necessary for industrial digitalization. Second, policy and trust. The transition to an AI-driven economy requires trust. We need robust frameworks for data protection, cybersecurity, and digital identity. And finally, capacity building. We must democratize the skills of the future. We cannot leave the development of AI to Silicon Valley alone. We need AI engineers in Zimbabwe. We need digital literacy programs that teach citizens not just to use an app, but how to interact with the generative AI tools safely and productively. The IT Use Academy and our digital skills toolkit are at your disposal. As we move beyond connectivity, we must be vigilant about the new divides that are emerging. We risk creating an AI divide, a chasm between nations that are merely consuming AI applications built elsewhere, and nations that are building, training, and owning their AI models. At this point, I would like to congratulate the government of Zimbabwe for the launch of the country's National Artificial Intelligence Strategy 2026 to 2030 by His Excellency Dr. Emerson Damuzum Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, so what does Zimbabwe's future look like in this new paradigm? It looks like a digital agriculture corridor where telecoms networks relay real-time data to farmers about soil health and weather patterns, optimized by AI to increase yields and achieve food security. It looks like a smart tourism ecosystem where visitors use augmented reality to explore the majestic Victoria Falls, guided by immersive digital experiences powered by high-speed 5G networks. It looks like a digital government that delivers services proactively to its citizens, using AI to streamline bureaucracy and ensure that social support reaches the most vulnerable. Distinguished guests, the fourth industrial revolution is not coming, it is here. The question is whether we will be its architects or its spectators. Zimbabwe has the talent, the youth, the determination to leapfrog legacy systems and build a digital economy that is the envy of the region. The International Telecommunications Union, through the Telecommunication Development Bureau that I lead, is not just a partner in this journey. We are your committed ally. We bring global best practices, technical expertise, and a network of partners from both the public and private sectors to help you navigate this complex transition. Let us work together to ensure that connectivity becomes the foundation for an intelligent, inclusive, and prosperous Zimbabwe. I wish you a successful third edition of the Zimbabwe Annual Telecommunications Conference and Exhibition 2026. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Dr. Cosmas Zava. He is the ITU Telecommunication Development Bureau Director. So as we continue, Honorable, you did mention that you have an open door policy where if someone has an idea of bringing down the clouds, you could be open to the idea. You are definitely open to the idea. Today we have a lot of students in here. If you are a student, please raise your hand. I think we have so many students. Thank you so much for being here. And I wanted to ask Honorable Mavetera if we can have a Q&A because some people may not particularly have the access to you, Honorable, but they are here 5 meters away from you. So I want to take the first 3 questions to come from students. Students who would want to pose a question to Honorable Mavetera, please, if you can take a mic to them. We have so many students here. This is a massive opportunity for you to interact with Honorable Mavetera and get the answers that you have. I'll put the first 2 questions to come from the students as I take the microphone to Honorable Mavetera. Please prepare your questions as well. We have one over there, one over this side. The first 2 from students. We do have a student at the back. Please, may you stand up?
Hello, my name is Kutesh. I learn at Tel Institute for Learning, and my question is on the education sector. See, we as students, we use AI a lot. For example, ChatGPT. As the teacher conducts the lecture, we conduct the lecture, question and answers, and then the teacher at the end of the session says, "Yo, seeing as I have taught you that, you can maybe use AI tools to go over the work that we have given you." So rely more on AI will will vast it more than lecturers think. So, isn't it just easier to introduce architecture more easily, seeing as we use it more and more and more, we rely on it more than we rely on teachers?
That's a good question. You said your name?
Zaishe Chimanda.
Kudzai Ishe Chimanda. Honorable, there's a question for you.
Yes, sir, Chimanda, how are you? How are you, sir? Okay, good. It's a very good. Hi. It's a